Alright, now we're on to the next part of the game. Basically, the start of Kotetsushin Jeeg's part of the plot. As the easiest way to explain it. Alright, so now we're heading back to Danner base because, you know, just have to. Because we got what's called a notification from build base. So yeah, apparently the inside of the Dakumaru has tech that he's never seen before in any civilization he's been in. Regardless, that's First Officer Rosa. She's apparently a very scary person like Kiriko, which was actually kind of funny. So yeah, apparently Koji asks them what the Daikumaru is made of and, you know, power and stuff. And they're wondering if Koji's okay. Remember, Koji's trying to be, what's called, a first-rate mecha engineer like his father. Regardless, Shizuka lets him know that, you know, she's, what's called, the Daikumaru and Gaiken run on a type of fire-based energy called Hydruide and are armored with an alloy called Zolmanium. Of course, those don't exist. But then again, once again, he actually has a good point. Mist doesn't know those exist, but Mist is kind of retarded, especially if he doesn't know what Super Metal Alloy Z or Photon Energy is, or Ultra Alloy. Regardless, even Boss can tell that Mist is hiding something. So now Mist is heading out straight back there. Regardless, he doesn't care about what Mist is hiding, and he says sorry to Shizuka for skipping out on the tour. So now we're going to Kyushu. Because of an emergency call from Professor Shiva, build base. The facility is apparently in Nagasaki and is devoted into studying the zone that encircles all of Kyushu. Basically, a zone is what's called a thick cloud of energy, which is it's kind of kept Kyushu off of, well, humanity and the rest of the world for the past 50 years. So they have, in a sense, been paused in time, and they haven't improved or anything. Regardless, something apparently is happening in there that is messing around with it. Regardless, there to go and do it. But yeah, that was 50 years ago, which was of course the original Kotetsuhin. So now they gotta go to Kyushu to meet up with what's called Professor Shiba. And of course Anna just bolts out with Mist as well. But yeah, Professor Shiba is apparently one of the top 2 scientists in Japan, so kinda gotta be respectful. Of course Mist kind of ignored that, so, you know. Regardless, the DSSD calls her. Apparently in this game, Celine and Kiriko are very good friends. So yeah. Apparently she's worried that there are mimetic beasts around her own area, and she asked Kiriko to check for her, which luckily there isn't. So we're good. Oh, she has Rue with her. But anyways, So yeah, there's no mimetic beast activity in the area. That's good because they're developing the Stargazer robot with AI, you know, the usual stuff, but it uses the Voltaire Lumiere to try and travel long distances. That's if it works. So yeah, it ain't, you never know. Okay, so apparently now they're on to Kyushu. So apparently they gotta do one last check on what's called on the Kyushu situation, then they're gonna get out of there. Regardless, that's Professor Shiba. And there's Kigali. She's basically the protagonist of the Gundam Seed story in this game. Because she's fighting the war, she's managing everything, she's doing everything. Yeah, the zone's about to expand, but luckily there's no Festum, so we're good. And there's Alex Dino, you know, Atherin. So yeah, there's no Festum, we're good. And then here comes Mist, who thinks that Shiba's a monster. And of course he's not, because Mist is retarded. So yeah. So yeah, luckily Shiba recognizes everybody else through their exploits, so he's good. Regardless, apparently in Kyushu, it is an interesting fact, even though Kyushu was kind of cut off from the world for the past 50 years, they don't even know the fate of the people that live there. Apparently they're shocked that Kigali's there, so yeah. But yeah, apparently there's no sign of Festum, so he's getting out of there. So they're getting out of there. And as they get out of there, the enemy actually starts. Regardless, apparently the Darius army is coming out. Apparently Mist recognizes her, but you never know. So yeah, Empress Himika. So yeah, apparently somebody awoke Himika, and now they're about to all team up. Yeah, that. And Nikima thinks that all he needs is himself to wipe out all of humanity, which of course no. Regardless, build up, now we got, oh snap. 5 Fafners, 2 mobile suits, the Vertibuster, the Strike Noir, and I forgot the other one. Dual Buster, Strike Noir, and Vertibuster? Regardless, they're all part of the Earth Force, so they're in the sense a good guy. And well, there go the grunts. It's got quite the amount of power to take out that stuff. Alright, so now we're on to the actual stuff with to the actual plot of Kotetsuhin. Basically, their team can only have one racer, now it's time for those two to race. They're racing, and he stops. Because apparently an earthquake is happening. So now he's gotta head straight. Apparently the Phantom is going straight for what's called Tsubaki's Shrine. Unfortunately, she's not there. And he meets Michi. So yeah, now they vanish from sight and go straight into, you know, to get the motorcycle. And now he's got to ride away. Oh, he's getting attacked. Alright, now he's got to ride off a cliff and then build up. So now he's about to build up. I can imagine if this were either 3DS or a new Super Star Wars game, that would have been a voiced part right there. But regardless, now he's Jeeg. The same mech that appeared 50 years ago. It was voiced by Toru Furuya. You know, Amuro Ray's voice actor. One of the more interesting things about Kotetsuhin though is, once again, unlike most Go Nagai's mechs, Jeeg is actually very small. And unlike the likes of even Jushin Liger is actually taller than Jeeg. As you can tell, Jeeg is a S-class, well, S-size unit. Both its remake and, you know, both Jeegs are S. Which is one of the more interesting things. Regardless, Jeeg is honestly one of my favorites of the recent Go Nagai stuff. That's why I'm just waiting for like a Super Star Wars G or something to appear. You know, like, what's called? Yeah, Super Star Wars G, a game that would have all Go Nagai as mechs. That'd be pretty cool. That ain't gonna hit. Basically, after we beat this, we'll get our reinforcements, because they're gonna get their reinforcements. Dear God, it's got... Alright, let's use this attack. Dynamite kick, the usual barrage attacks. Then the slap of doom. And of course the Jeeg breaker. Here's everybody else. Luckily, even though we were about to beat them, luckily they appeared. One of the more interesting things is they're surprised that Jeeg is alive. It's pretty interesting because that is a point, because it's a 50-year-old robot. Dang it. How is this thing not dying? Regardless, there he's starting to come in to attack. So now they're retreating, and now we got an entire enemy force against us. So yeah, the build base apparently, Kigali and of course Alex rush into the area, and it's like, what's going on? He's kind of pointing out that the giant screen shows a 20-foot monster, but you know, they're not gonna listen. Apparently, okay, the situation is that they attacked, you already saw how they spawned. They spawned in downtown, so they're attacking, and Mr. sacrificing himself, basically. Which is where Alex comes in and starts the fight as well. But yeah, apparently these guys aren't enough to protect everybody. So it's time for him to show who he is. An ashtray. I like how the Hanawi Phantom stuff, how they just look like little tiki or crazy stuff. Or actual old stuff. Alright, so it's time to take these guys out. We'll regroup like that for now. I'm relying upon water. Counter cross. I'm kind of sad they don't use classic Gaiking as much anymore as well. Dang, dynamic kill. Gaiking should be able to handle these, but you never know. Alright, so God King's taking care of these guys. As we slowly move Godner to them. So yeah, apparently there's... The downside of being a robot pilot is you're never gonna have a stable time for a honeymoon. That's what basically they're saying. Ah, Jeeg. These were plowing through the enemies, basically. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Jeeg has a super mode. One of the main downsides I don't like about this game is the fact that it knows you're gonna need a lot of help with space. Because as you noticed, of course these guys are good, but for instance, the Godner mechs, of course, any grounded unit, everything has a B, even Messinger, never mind. Wait, yeah, even Messinger Z for some reason has a B in space. Which didn't really make any sense to me on Messinger. I mean, Messinger can be used in space, like all other games have it. Oh well. I love how the one on the left looks psychotic. Nice, got the kill. Random energy lasts. Let's see if it takes out some tiki looking thing. Nope, it doesn't. Yeah, this thing excels in underwater, like it's got an S. Same with this Plessy looking thing. Dang. Nah, that attack takes up 80 energy out of 100. Nah, it's not worth it. Actually, I actually want to see what this... Dang. That's half your energy for you. It's the curveball. The curveball. Yeah. You almost get these guys out with God. As I'll say, God Mars. That's dead, thank you, oh Alex Dino. He's last enemy, so quick. Please finish this one off. Alright, so it's time to retreat before we go all crazy, because what's called? Yeah, they're near the zone, so it's best to get out of there before anything crazy happens in Kyushu. Apparently Koji's okay, luckily. And then Miss gets a call from Angelica. I'll admit, about Angelica, I do like her design. Her design's nice. So yeah, apparently she's working as an operator for Build Base. So apparently they're going to catch up as well. So apparently he's teaching her about combination. Eh. So it's basically explaining more of the game's whole situation with partners, which is honestly kind of boring because in the sense that the partner can also defend and help you. But yeah. The downside is the only person who can choose the pairs and everything is the commander, which is me. Regardless, in this game, remember that you gotta have the support attack function to be able to attack from as a partner unit rather than the main unit, which I didn't like. So yeah, he's gotta wait for a bit before he can partner up with Chizuru. So apparently Tsubaki's apologizing. Ha. Anyways, Kenji's asking what the Haniwa Phantoms are, and apparently, what's called, there's Manko right there, and she hits him. Because apparently he insulted her. But anyways, apparently anybody that would have gotten hit normally by her would have needed a neck brace, but Kenji's pretty durable, which is kind of a sign of what he is later on in Kotetsushin Jeeg. So now here's Mitsuko, she stops it. Regardless, she's a fighter pilot. And the Human Phantom, they're servants of the Great Jama Empire. They caused such a fuss half a century ago, and Build Base has been, well, building defenses against their return ever since. Regardless, apparently, as he's explaining everything, Koji thinks that he's the pilot. Once revealed that Kenji's actually the pilot. So yeah, apparently, nah, he's not the pilot. He's the pilot of Jeeg. Oh snap! Koji is sorry, but Kenji he's cool, so he doesn't care. Regardless, Koji does think that Messenger Z could beat Jeeg, but probably not. And apparently they're about to fight. Cool. So now there's a staff meeting. And this is gonna be late because Angelica. Alright, so basically she doesn't remember anything from that time. Apparently her mech has been disabled, which, you know, we'll get it later on. And it was left behind when her father Mist rushed off after the enemy commander. She remembers being surrounded by a white light, and then she ended up being on Earth, which was easy for her since Mist took 10 months to get to Earth. That's basically it right there. Ugh. So yeah, apparently, real quick, for some more exposition, apparently, instead of Earth, the white light also affected him. But instead of Earth, he ended up in Planet Bazaar, where he was trying to live peaceful while, you know, preparing the residents in case they attacked the game's main enemy. They, of course, attacked, and unfortunately, Mist's preparations was useless. So yeah, once again, he lost, and the white light normally surrounded him, and that's how he got to Earth, which was 10 months later. Regardless, coincidence apparently brought them back together, and it's about time for them to start fighting each other, while fighting the true enemy. Oh well. Now they're heading to the meeting, and this is where we're gonna end the part. Thank you all for watching. Until the next part, goodbye.